Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 2, Episode 254. So today is Tuesday, December 26th, and I decided to go ahead and go out, find some casinos to play. So my plans have changed just slightly, but let me just say, before that, I hope everyone had a good Christmas and got all the things that you wanted, and we're all focused and ready to go and start making money again. So let's not forget the reason for the season, and here we are, all ready to go. And like I said, I hope everyone's happy and healthy and ready to go. All right, so I am off right now. It is early morning, but we have a little bit of a problem. So overall, schedule-wise, I wasn't sure if I was going to get out today, but I thought for sure I would get out tomorrow. Now things have changed slightly. I'm definitely doing something today, and let's just talk about that first. I started having a little bit of an issue with the battery in this car. I had it tested, and it tested at 100%, but I think it just doesn't have enough cranking amps to get the car started. So it seems like if I start the car, if I jump the car, and I start it, and it's going, then within an hour or two, it'll still start, no problem. But if I leave it overnight, then it doesn't have enough power to turn the car over. So what am I doing? I am not replacing the battery. I am going to some casinos. The issue with this Ford Escape is the battery is in a place that's hard to reach, and they can't help me replace it at an auto parts store. So I actually have to take it in to get it replaced. So I have someone who will do that for me, but I don't want to lose a day of work because he's got to order it, and then it's got to get there. You know, it's going to be delivered by somebody, and then we have to put it in, and I just don't want to lose that day. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and play today, and just do my best not to stay away from the car more than a couple hours, and hope that all works out. I'll park in a way that if I need to be jumped, it'll be possible to get jumped. That's all okay. I'm not afraid of that. Everything is fine there. However, tomorrow there's a show, an event, let's say not a show, an event that my son wants to see, and I actually have to go out of the country for it. So I will be driving with my son, and my wife says she wants to go. I'm not sure if she will or not. We will have to get a hotel room across the border, and we'll go watch this event. And I can't really leave my son in the car as a child and go gamble. So if my wife goes with me, then I'm going to make a few stops on the way there. And in fact, we would stay at a casino as well. So I was waiting for someone to get back to me about a hotel room. He hasn't gotten back to me. It's been almost a day, so I'm going to go ahead and book this room at a casino. We'll all go there, and then she'll stay with him in the room, and then I can get some playtime in. So I suspect that instead of being able to hit 5 casinos tomorrow, I will probably hit 3 casinos tomorrow and have limited amounts of time, but at least I'll get some time in, and my son and I will be able to go to this event. My wife didn't want to go, but she wanted to go along for the trip, so she would stay in the hotel room while we went. So that's what's going on with that. Like I said, right now, early morning, I have jumper cables with me in case I need them, and I am off, and we'll see how things go. So hopefully everything works out. At 8 o'clock, I will call this guy and tell him to go ahead and get the battery in, and then I'll leave my car with him tomorrow when I'm out of town, and then when I get back, it'll be ready to go. So that's what's going on with all that. And I'm gonna go into the first spot here, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I'm still on my way to the first casino, but I ran across this "Twas the Night Before Christmas" poem for Advantage players online, and I thought I'd let you listen to it. I'm not good at reading this stuff, so I'm going to have the computer read it to you. Be right back here.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the casino, Advantage players were stirring, ready for their big win to show. The dealers were shuffling with utmost care, in hopes that card counters soon would be there. The chips were nestled all snug in their stacks, while visions of strategy danced in their tracks. With blackjack and poker, they plotted their schemes, counting cards and reading opponents, chasing their dreams. When out on the floor, there arose such a clatter, Advantage players sprang from their seats to see what was the matter. Away to the tables, they flew like a flash, to exploit every edge and make their bankroll a mass. The moon on the breast of the new fallen night illuminated their faces as they played with delight. When, what to their sharp eyes should appear, but a biased roulette wheel, bringing holiday cheer. With practiced precision and skillful finesse, they exploited the advantage, causing the wheel to impress. More rapid than eagles, their winnings they came, and they whistled and shouted and called each game. Now, blackjack, now, poker, now, roulette with a spin. On, craps, on, baccarat, let the advantage begin. As chips piled up high, reaching the ceiling, they reveled in the joy that their skills were revealing. And then, in a twinkling, the casino boss came, to witness the prowess of each Advantage player's game. His eyes, how they widened, his face filled with dread, as he realized the profits these players had bred. The Advantage players grinned, with a nod of their head, knowing they had conquered, as the boss quietly fled. They sprang to their sleighs, to their team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard them exclaim as they drove out of sight, "Happy Advantage playing to all, and to all a good night."
Alright, so I don't know who the author is of this. I tried to look it up online, and I couldn't find an author for it, but if I knew who it was, I would give them credit. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I got past the first hurdle here. I was in that place for about 45 minutes or so. I was worried about starting the car when I came out, but it started right up, so that's good. So we know for sure it'll hold the charge for at least 45 minutes. Now we're going to push it. Next place is also going to be about 45 minutes. The place after that will probably be close to 2 hours. So we'll see what happens. I'll park in such a way that I can be jumped if I need to. So, and that should be the longest that we're at a casino. So as long as we make it through the third stop, we should be okay to get home. And the third stop is also the furthest away from home. So as we're getting further past the third stop, I'll be closer and closer to home. So that's all good. I went into this place and had a little bit of free play, and never had to get any cash out. I played the first machine and ended that session. I had about, I think, $415. So that was real nice. And then moved on, found a second machine, and unfortunately there was another guy, Advantage player, who I didn't know, who was playing it. Although I think he was a little looser than I would have thought he would be. He did play a machine and ended up winning a little bit of money, but there was one machine that he played, and then I went to go check it after him, and someone had sat down there, so I didn't get to check it till later. But playing that set of machines, that got me to plus, I believe, like 505. Then I walked around, looked around the place. I found a machine that was a borderline play, and if it was a lower level play, like $1 or $2, I would have played it. But this was really just under positive EV, and it was about $8 a spin, and I didn't want to risk it. It was $7.50 a spin. I didn't want to risk it, so I let that one go. Came back around, didn't find anything else. Came back to the last machine I had played, and looked at the one that the guy had just left and the lady had sat down, and I found a play at $4 a spin, and I was able to hit that pretty reasonable amount of time. and ended up ahead 659 overall. So at this point, I'm making one more pass through. I go back to that just under positive EV play. I decide not to play it, and I end up leaving. So that stop was a positive $659. So very nice, plus 659 for my first stop, and we're moving on to the next place. We'll see how this car holds up. The clock's all reset and everything, but I'm not too stressed about it. I think I'm going to be okay. It's about 100 miles to my next stop, then about 30 to the one after that. So hopefully, I don't think I have an alternator problem, so I think the charge should be pretty decent after my next stop. So I'll be back to update you shortly. Alright guys, I am back. So I went into the next place, and I was a little nervous about the car battery. So what I did was I called, and I found a place that has one of those jump start packs that you can buy. And if you recall, I have an AC adapter in the car, so I actually have a 3-prong outlet in the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over there, and I'm going to buy this thing, and I'm going to charge it in the car as I'm driving to the next location. So if I get stuck at the next location, I can use my own jump pack to start the car and just continue my trip. So as for this place that I was just in, I was in there for about half an hour or so, and it was actually getting really busy. It's early in the morning still, it's still breakfast time, and by the time I left, the parking lot was almost completely full. So now I'm a little bit concerned about table conditions at the next location, but we got to do it. So we're moving on right now. Actually, I played in there, like I said, for about a half hour. There was one play I couldn't get to because someone was on it. I'm sure they were going to finish it up, so I'm not too concerned about it. Plus, it was at a tiny level, like a 50-cent level, so it wasn't worth me waiting around to try to win $7 or $10. Right now, I'm going out of my way by 5 miles to be able to go get this jump pack. And like I said, I'll charge it in the car, and from there I'm heading off to a full casino, blackjack, everything, and we're going to see what we can do to try to hit them a little bit harder on the blackjack table than we have been lately. We've been stuck in neutral counts mainly for a couple of months, it seems like, so we haven't really had a chance to bet high. Hopefully that'll change today and it'll turn out well. So I am moving on to get that battery pack right now, and I'll be back to update you after I play some blackjack. Alright guys, I am back. I just left the auto parts store, and when I called, I said, it's actually not an auto parts store, it's just a hardware store. I said, do you have this charger? And they said yes. I said, please check to see if you have it in stock, because I don't want to drive out there for no reason. And they did. And I asked the guy if it would come already fully charged or not, and he said there's no way it's going to be fully charged. So I said, okay, I'll just use the car power to plug it into the car to charge it, and then I might be like the first guy who ever used the car to jump itself. And so I just plugged it in to my car, and within like 2 minutes it said it was fully charged. So I'm just going to leave it plugged in for a little while longer as I continue on, but right now I've got enough power to jump my own car, so I don't have to worry about being stranded anywhere, so that's good. On my way out, I saw a guy, and he's getting his truck ready to plow snow and spread salt and stuff like that, and I saw a flag on his car, and we were talking about it as a political flag, and I asked him about it, and we talked for a few minutes, and he said that he lost his job over it. And it seems like there's only one political party that's willing to take away people's right to free speech, and they're willing to fire people and punish people over free speech. And why would they do that? I mean, why would you hurt your own country and your own people Why would you not stand behind your own flag and your own country and your own people? I just don't understand it. If you think it's that bad, then make changes and do it the right way. Don't fire people and take away their livelihood. But I don't know of anywhere else that I'd want to go that's going to give me the freedom to do the things that I do here. And I'm sorry to everyone. I know we've got like over 50 countries that listen to this podcast, and I just don't know of anywhere where I can have this freedom. And I'm seeing how it's being eroded every day with more and more rules, and how you can address people and how you have to talk to people and words you can't use. The list of words you can't use is so long. I might just do an episode and just say all the words that you can't use and just really piss people off. I don't know. I'm joking, but it's like, why can't I say those words? You know, it's words. It's you know. Anyway, so I had a nice conversation with him, and just moving on right now to the next casino. Looks like right now I am about 30 minutes away from the next spot. We're gonna go in there, beat them up a little bit, make some money on blackjack, maybe a couple slots that I love. Lots of times I'll find the same slots in position in certain places because not a lot of people check those. So whether they don't know about it or they just don't check them very often, I seem to find the same ones in the same locations. So anyway, moving on. Just for the record here, it's Christmas was not snowy at all. Right now it's 59 degrees outside. It's cloudy, a little bit rainy, but overall a nice warm day. And moving on, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I go into that place, and I walk into the high limit area, and they have a good 6-deck packed with people, and they have a bad double deck with no one on it, and then they have a reserve table. So I go over to the double deck, and there's a guy that I know sitting at the table. They're getting ready to start a new shoe, and I just want to see where they put the cut card, because everybody knows this guy, and they know that he's not counting cards or anything. So I walk up, and I'm just watching for a second, and they put it at like half a deck. So I'm like, okay, I'll play that. So I put some money out there, I start playing, and turns out that this was the brake runner dealer. So they're used to cutting it thin on a 6-deck, and they cut it thin on this double deck. So that was perfect. So I sit down, buy in for 500, and I tread water for 2 or 3 shoes, and then just have a horrible shoe where, you know, you lose the majority of the hands. Buy in for another sorry about that. Buy in for another 300, and end up having to rebuy on a double down. It was like a $150 double down, which I ended up pushing. And then the guy got up because his sister from some faraway land had called him, and he was calling her back, and had a good couple shoes while he was gone. And then the brake runner, the regular dealer came back. The brake runner had to leave, but just before she left, she gave me one more good penetration shoe, and she didn't even deal the first hand, and the regular dealer dealt that to me. I ended up doing well on that, and then the other player came back, and I said, well, I think I want to go, and I ended up leaving plus 525. So plus 525 on that, and then it was time to get a new card because their cards expire and all this. So I looked, and there's only one person in the VIP line and 2 people in the lower line, or 3 people in the lower line. So I walk up, and they take one of the lower people first, and then they take the high person, and then I let a guy go ahead of me, and then they kept on taking people from the non-VIP line. I ended up last. But while I was standing in line, I talked to a guy and his wife, and they were telling me about a tier match. So I went up and I said, well, you know, can you do a tier match? How does this work? And the guy's like, well, it's December 26th. We only do a tier match once, so January 1st it would be gone anyway. you might want to wait till January 1st. And actually, when I got my card, it's not January, it's actually like March. So if you're going to do a tier match, you should wait until March before you do the tier match. So anyway, it didn't matter anyway because my regular card is almost the top tier. I don't know what kind of benefits you get at their top tier. I'll look on their website and decide whether or not it's worth me doing that. For the last 6 months, I haven't used my card at all, so I don't really have a lot of points right now. And once this card expires, if they have good benefits, that may be the time I might want to do it. If between now and March I find a good machine that's going to be a long-term play and I can get some decent points, then I might start using the card in the machines and try to get that top tier without a match. So anyway, lots of talk for nothing. The point is, I made 525 on the blackjack. I'm moving on to the next spot. So ironically, the place that's usually empty was very busy this morning, and this place, which is normally busy, was empty. So I don't know what's happening here, but we'll see what the next one holds for us. The next one is mainly a senior crowd, so we'll see how that is, and I'll be back to update you. Okay guys, I am back. Alright, so I walked into this place and it was moderately busy, not too busy. I find a machine right away that I want to play. I sit down, I play it through, and it just went terribly. I was down about $100 on that machine, but I mean, it's a low limit machine, so as far as number of units, it was not good. So I was down 100 right away. Then I go find another machine to play, and that one plays way better than expected. And after I leave that one, now I'm ahead $15. So all right, so plus $15, and I go look at some stuff in the back. I noticed a lot of new people that I've never seen before checking machines, which is unfortunate, but so I go in the back and I see a machine that I'm still learning. I know the right entry points, but I'm still learning exactly what to expect as I go along, and I totally got destroyed on that machine. By the time I left that machine at $1.50 a spin, I was down over $500. So that's just, that's wonderful. So I go look at some other stuff, and I start clawing my way back, and I get to the point where I'm down about 190. I'm feeling a lot better, and then I go play a similar machine to the one that initially got me back, and just got destroyed on that one, and just overall was not a good session. Lots of ups and downs, but mainly I was in the negatives almost the whole time. So sadly, I ended up not doing well there, ended up leaving minus 380. So minus 380 there. I go to my car, I go to start the car, and it doesn't start. So I did use the jump start thing that I got, and it worked. I mean, I had it connected for 30 seconds, and the car started right up. So no problem there. I'm glad I got it. I'd hate to be waiting for AAA or something for the next hour, wasting time for no reason. So, all right, right now, it's actually pretty late in the day for where I am. I really should be about 70 miles from here by this time of the day. But it looks like, let me see. I'm going to go ahead and go on with my normal schedule, even though I'm way behind, and see how it goes. Right now it is raining. It is, you could say foggy. Raining with low visibility, I guess, is the best way to describe it. And just got back on the road here. I'm about 45 minutes away from the next spot. So we'll go in there and play and see how that goes, and then I'll be back to update you after that. Alright guys, I am back. Oh man, that was a miserable experience. I was in there for a while too, like an hour and a half. I played so many long plays, and every one of them were so rough. When I walked in, I immediately was down like 300, and then 100, and then down 500, and then back to 100, and back and forth and back and forth. And everything I played was just not paying out well at all. And this place in particular, I'm going to talk to some other people about this that come here, but there were so many Asian players, and all of them were wearing masks. Not that I could tell them all apart, with or without the mask, because I see them so often. I don't know their names, most of them, but I see them so often. They're camping out every machine now, and this has got to stop. So I'm going to talk to some friends of mine and see if there's anything we can do. Otherwise, I'll just start skipping this place. I can't keep coming here. And, these guys are, I don't know, they're in the way. They're jumping in front of people. So we'll see what happens there. But the last play, I was down $300, and I had a nice payout on that toward the end there. And I ended up leaving down 110. So not good. So right now I am going to move on. I've got at least one more place I want to go, and then tomorrow is a big day, so got to get home. I got to get hotels booked. I got to get passports ready. Got to do all this stuff to get ready for our trip. It's just going to be 3 of us, my wife and myself and one of the boys, and we should have a good time. We're going to stay overnight, and we'll see how it goes. So letting you go right now, going to the last spot, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Alright, I went into the next place, and it was getting dark when I got here. Traffic was getting bad when I got here. Just a miserable time. And coming off 2 losses, I was not exactly thrilled. So I walk in hoping that I'm not going to see a lot of people that knew what they were doing. And I saw the whole gang. I saw everybody. And I know I've given people nicknames in the past and discussed who they are, but I'm trying to stay away from that right now so people aren't putting things together about locations and stuff. But I saw the whole gang, basically. And I walked up to one machine and got in at a good point, and it basically paid me 5%. 5%. So, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be 3 bad ones in a row. And I played that through. I ended up down, how much was I down on that one? I think I was down $210 on that machine, playing $2.40. I'm thinking to myself, just any old ploppy could do better than what I just did on a regular machine, losing 10 to 14%. But here I am. But anyway, I got up from there, started walking around, took 2 short laps, just in the immediate area, and found nothing. And then I saw one that was a high-risk play, but I said I'm going to do high-risk plays if they're positive EV. I sit down, and it's a $6 per spin play. I sit down, it's nickels, so it's like 120 nickels a spin. So I sit down, I start playing. There's 2 jackpots I'm trying to hit. And by the time I hit the first jackpot, my overall is, I'm down at this point minus $550. And I am just not very happy at all. I hit everything I'm supposed to hit, the way I'm supposed to, when I'm supposed to, but the run-up has been so bad. And I was just mentally exhausted after all this. I probably had 9 or 10 plays that were 300 or more spins each today, and I ended up that far negative. And on that play, I was just not very happy. But I knew I still had the other one to go for. A lot of things could happen on the run-up, and so I kept on playing. Actually, while I was playing that machine, a lady sitting next to me got up and left her machine in a good position, in what should have been 3 or 4 spins. As soon as she gets up, I stick a $100 bill in there. I lean over, I stick a $100 bill in the machine, and there's a hand on my shoulder. And the guy says, "You're stealing my plays again?" And I look up, and it's this real nice guy. and he was just joking. And I played it through, and I ended up winning, like, I don't know, some dumb thing, $10 or $15. It should have been way bigger than that. So I take that money, I stick it in my machine. I start talking to him while I'm playing. And so I'm down like $550, and there's one more jackpot to go for, and he said, I wouldn't go for that if I was you. I said, well, it's positive, I need to go for it. So it's $6 to spend. I continued on, and by the time that play was over, I went from being minus about 550 or 560 to being, oh my God, did I just forget? Did I just leave you hanging and I forgot the number? I've had the number in my head. Okay, plus $226. So I'm plus $226. I go around the whole place 2 or 3 times. Actually it was 232. I did find one other play that I lost $6 on, so I ended up plus 226. I talked to this guy for a while, and he was telling me about the same problem I was just telling you about. A big group of Asian players arrived, and they are wreaking havoc on this area. And he's like, I don't even want to play here anymore. And he said, there's 2 casinos within 45 minutes of here, and he's playing his free play and just leaving and going to a place that's over an hour away because he wants to get away from these people. And he said he went in there last time and they were there. And I looked at him and I said, I know exactly who you're talking about, and they were playing Baccarat, weren't they? And he said, yes. I said, I know. They win all their money on slots and they lose it all on the Baccarat table. So we talked for a few more minutes, and he told me about a guy who's not in town right now, but the guy saw him staking out a machine, and the guy was kind of an ass about it. He walks up to the lady and he says, don't get up off that machine. You see that guy right there? He's waiting for you to get up so he can win the money. And he cost this guy the play. And that's just something we just don't do. I mean, even if it's someone I don't like, it's their livelihood. You know, if they're doing this for a living, I don't want to be taking away their livelihood. So anyway, what else? Oh yeah, so I see another machine, and this lady's playing it, and it's in great position, and she's done with the machine. She pushes the button for one last spin. She gets up, she moves her butt from that seat to the seat next to it, and she hits something, and then she goes back and sits back in the chair and starts playing, and I lose my opportunity. So that last spin, because she hit like a $15 hit on it, she decided not to get up and cost me the play. But overall, still ended up plus 226 on that machine. It is so dark today. I'm going to get on the road here for a minute, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So went and got some gas for the car. Everything is all done. Heading home. I'm in the home stretch. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting one, because although we're going out of the country, I am going to have another adult with me, along with my son, so I will be able to go to casinos. So the plan is to hit at least one casino on the way out of the country, and maybe 2, and then we're going to stay at a casino, so I'll be playing there. So we'll see what happens with that. And then tomorrow morning, not tomorrow morning, the next morning, I'm going to have just a small amount of free play at that casino, because I don't go there very often. I'll play that on the way out. We'll probably have some breakfast and stuff there as well. And I've got a lot of points with this company, so we'll probably eat and do all that kind of stuff with their money as well. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So tomorrow's going to be an interesting episode. If it's not long enough, you know what, for sure I will take it over into the next day. So if you don't see an episode drop tomorrow, it's because I'm carrying it over until morning, probably. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. Letting you go for now. If you have any questions or comments, mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.